Hi guys, so this is the 19th day of the 31 Days of Horror, and again, apologies for it being late. But for today, I am reviewing the sequel to 3AM 3D, and this is 3AM 3D Part 2. Just because I liked the first one, and I tend to like Thai horror anthologies, so I just thought I'd watch the second. So 3AM 3D Part 2 was made in 2014. The first one was made in 2012. I don't know if I mentioned that, but 2012, this is 2014. This involves, again, three short horror stories. The first one's called The Third Night, and it's about a motorcycle gang leader named Wrong who dies, and he comes back to haunt some of the members of his motorcycle gang and his wife and her lover because he, avenge his wrongful death. And this story is probably, as you'll see with most of these, I didn't care for this one as much as the first one, but this one tried to mix comedy in a little bit. It didn't quite work for me, and I just overall found the story not as intriguing or interesting as the previous movie, the stories in the previous movie. It was okay, but I could do without it. It wasn't creepy, it wasn't, interesting, so. The second one is called The Convent, and it's kind of two stories. There's a urban legend of a nun. This is an all-girls school, like convent. A nun who killed herself after she fell in love with a man because she wasn't supposed to love anyone but God. And she plays the piano sometimes, and there's an urban legend that the schoolgirls tell each other, high school girls, I assume, that if you go play a certain song on this piano, slice your wrist, and have a rose, something about asking the nun, because the translation wasn't quite, the subs weren't like exact, asking the nun to make somebody love you, because she grants like love requests. But if she denies your request, she'll kill you. So it's that urban legend, and it follows three of the schoolgirls. Two girls that have just started dating, and then another girl who is one of the girls' ex-girlfriends. And the girl who was the original girlfriend, she starts to see more and more things, and you find out like how she asked for this love to happen, but she scorned this other girl. So this one, again, it was more interesting than the first story, but again, it wasn't that great. So definitely better than the first story, but not, nah. It's still like my favorite story in the trilogy, in the three stories in this movie. And the third one is called The Offering. Now throughout the movie, it's a shop, it's a shop that sells offerings and like paper money for rituals and stuff to honor the dead. And he tells the first two stories that we see. And then with this story, it involves him, his wife, and an employee that's working at night. And they keep thinking that one or the other has died. It's supernatural-like, and that their ghost is haunting them. So again, this one was probably the most comedic of the three, but the comedy didn't work for me. And the story itself, just to me, wasn't that interesting. And overall, 3AM 3D Part 2, I overall gave it a 5, just because compared to the first one, most of the horror and comedy just didn't work for me. It wasn't as effective or as enjoyable as the first one. So it wasn't a horrible movie, but I would definitely skip it. It's not a must-see. It was just okay, which bothers me because I usually love Thai films, but this one just didn't do it for me. So yes, that's 3AM 3D, I keep forgetting 3D. 3AM 3D Part 2 for the 19th day of the 31 Days of Horror. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Bye.